I've made a decision when it comes to the peppers that we're growing. We're starting to approach mid-August and we've got loads and loads of pepper plants that's got quite a few peppers on them, but they're all green. And also we've got some with peppers on that are quite small. And I think to try and speed up that ripening process for the bigger ones that we've got, it might be a good idea to start taking off some of these small ones. They're not going to grow that much bigger over the next couple of months anyway. As long as we get some ripe ones this year, that's all I care about. But the sunny spells are few and far between. So these plants are struggling. So I'm going to go around and take away all the little peppers that's that size. We're not going to waste these peppers. I mean, we could leave them indoors to ripen in a box with an apple or a banana, for example. But they are slowly starting to try and turn. I just don't think we've got time to ripen everything that's out there. So it makes perfect sense to me to get rid of these small ones. And then what we'll do with these is we'll use them on cooking channel and we'll roast them, we'll sweeten them because green ones aren't very sweet. And then we'll preserve them in jars. So that's today's plan. Remove as many of these at that size as we can to help the bigger ones fully ripen. Let's nip out and see how many of these we can collect. I think that especially when it gets to peppers this size, they're not really going to do anything. This one's not going to grow anymore and you can see it's trying to ripen right there. But it's not going to get any bigger than that. So for a start we might as well take that off. We've also got some on these plants as well, and again very small. Take those off. That one's a bit bigger, I'll leave that. It's just the baby ones that I'm interested in more than anything. Any at that size, they're not worth leaving on at this point, I don't think. So that just leaves one not bad sized pepper on there. So all energy can now go into that one. We might as well take this one off because it's actually the only one left on that plant. So that plant's done now. We'll take that away from it. Same here. And that tiny one as well. There's too many peppers growing on one little plant here for them to stand any chance of getting to an half decent size. But we can use them. I mean, that is a really small one. So I've stripped that as well, and we've just left this one on there. In fact, underneath there's one I've just spotted that looks like it's rotting. Good job we spotted that, because it started to rot. So that won't do that pepper side of it any good. That's that sorted out. Just one pepper remaining on each plant. And we've got a bigger plant here, but once again, another one that's rotting. I don't know why that's happening, but we'll take this big one off there. It's not a bad size one. And this very tiny one as well. And we've got quite a big one on there, so again we'll leave the big one on. And then of course we've got all these in this trough. So we'll do the same again. Very tiny plant. We have very tiny fruit on it. What's annoying is these plants have still got flowers on them. So they could have produced more. We're just running out of time at the moment. I'm even taking these tiny ones off here. At this point, I might as well strip it back. Really tiny little peppers. But then again, that's giving that bigger one a better chance at ripening. Moving down, we'll do the same. There's a couple of really small ones at the front of this plant. But there's a big one at the back that's trying to ripen. So that'll help it out now. This one's got two, not bad size ones on, but this one is not going to get much bigger than that, and it's taking the energy from that really big one next to it. This one has got a really big one on and another big one that's ripening, but at the back we've got that one, so we'll take that off, and that baby one. It makes perfect sense to me to be doing this at this time of year. That one's been eaten. Something's got into that one, which is a shame. It's not a bad size, but maybe I can use half of it, so we'll save it anyway. So that's that trough done. Just got another plant here. These plants aren't going to do anything now at this time of year. And then we're going to do the same in this greenhouse, because there's a lot of plants in here with some good sized peppers on, but there is also quite a few small ones. So we'll strip them back in here as well, and we'll see how many we get. I might actually start and trim back some of this foliage to let more light through. But once again, this plant has got loads of buds on it that want to become peppers. It's a shame that we've got such a short growing season, because we could have had so many more. That one's not a bad size. That one, I think I'll take that one off. That one is a good size, but it looks like it's got an hole in it as well, which is quite annoying because there's a lot of peppers on this plant. I'm just going to finish the top off that. Let some more light through. Then remove those little peppers. That's left us 3 decent sized ones on there. I might have to take that one off though, with that hole being in it. So I'll go through the rest of these plants and we'll see how many peppers we get. Well, after that bit of walk round, this is what we've ended up with. A lot of very small sweet bell peppers, although I know that when they're green they're not quite so sweet. But we'll sort that out on Cooking Channel at some point today, and we'll make use of that harvest anyway. But we've done what we set out to do. We've took away all the really small fruits, allowing the big ones more chance of ripening, because now all the energy is only going into 1 or 2 big peppers rather than 5 or 6 small ones. And I think we're also due another tomato harvest, but we'll get to that one later on. Anyway, if you want to see what we do with these peppers, I'll be putting a video on Cooking Channel. And what we'll basically do with them is we'll roast them and we'll sweeten them and then we'll jar them. If you've not seen Cooking Channel before and you want to see what we do with all the things that we harvest through here, so as not to waste anything, there's a link in the description to Cooking Channel. So why not pop over there, hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to get updates whenever we make a new video, like the one that we'll be doing this afternoon. Anyway, thank you very much for being part of the channel. The weather's picked up a little bit. It's a lot sunnier, it's a lot warmer, and hopefully that's the shape of things to come through August. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell, and we'll see you at the next one. Take care.